Welcome to the Explainer, everyone. This one really caught my eye because it tackles a massive roadblock for so many of us, software development. If you've ever had this killer idea for a web app, but literally stopped in your tracks because you didn't know how to code, well, you're going to love this. We're looking at how recent updates to Google AI Studio are basically letting you bypass that hurdle entirely. We'll explore how these tools empower you to build, customize, and actually launch custom web apps with absolutely zero coding experience required. Seriously, zero.
Okay, let's take a quick look at the agenda. First up, saying goodbye to those old coding headaches. Then, Step 1, forking and importing your base. Step 2, prompting your redesign. After that, we'll explore some instant design variations. And finally, we'll wrap up by going live on Cloud Run. Let's get right into it. So, I want you to be totally honest for a second. Have you ever been in this exact scenario? You're browsing around, maybe you stumble onto GitHub and you find this incredibly stunning project. And you're thinking, wow, I want to run this. I want to mess with it, make it my own, right? But then you scroll down to the setup instructions. And just like that, the excitement completely drains away because that technical setup is just a giant, intimidating wall standing in your way.
Well, this illustrates exactly why that feeling of defeat is officially a thing of the past. Look at the old way on the left. You had to clone a repository, open up this terrifying command line terminal, install literally 100 different dependencies, and burn hours just trying to get the environment right. And half the time, you'd hit some weird error and just give up before you even started. But look at the right side, the new way with Google AI Studio. It is zero configuration, no terminal required. You literally go from finding a project to editing it in minutes. The headache, completely gone.
The absolute game changer here is exactly what the source material highlights. Absolutely no code editor, no terminal. You can start with just an idea, pull in a beautifully complex web app, redesign the whole thing to fit your specific vision, and deploy it live to the internet all in one single sitting. And you will never, not even once, have to open a terminal or stare at some complicated code editor. If you're a non-coder, this is the ultimate creative freedom. Section 1. Goodbye to coding headaches, removing the technical barriers.
Let's demystify this whole shebang right now. The entire process breaks down into 4 incredibly simple, straightforward steps that anyone can follow. Ready? Number 1, you fork an existing project. Number 2, you import it into AI Studio. Number 3, you redesign it using just plain English prompts. And number 4, you publish it to the world. It really is that easy.
Moving right along to Section 2. Step 1, fork and import. Getting your base.
All right, so this step is all about taking a visually stunning website and bringing it directly into your own personal workspace. Now, if you aren't a developer, please do not let the jargon intimidate you. You're going to hear the word repo, which is short for repository, thrown around a ton. But what is it really? Honestly, a repo is literally just a folder full of code. That's it. When a computer runs the files in that folder, boom, it becomes an app or a website. To get started, you just find a folder you like on GitHub, hit a button called fork to basically make a copy for yourself, and AI Studio connects to it instantly.
Now, what's super fascinating here is what happens behind the scenes. When you import that folder, AI Studio basically steps in as your master translator and lead developer. It auto-detects these complex frameworks, stuff like Next.js or package managers like NPM. It figures out exactly what the project needs, sets up the files, and installs all the dependencies automatically. The AI handles all the painful, nitty-gritty translation steps under the hood, with zero configuration from you. You literally just sit back and watch it build live on your screen.
Which brings us to Section 3. Step 2. Prompt your redesign, making it your own.
Okay, so now your beautiful base app is successfully imported and running live in your browser. Next up, it's time to rebrand this thing and make it yours. We're transforming this generic template into your specific vision, but we definitely don't want to break what already looks good, right? So you simply tell the AI, using everyday language, to keep the awesome structural layout and those sleek animations, like those satisfying hovering cards, but replace the messaging to fit your brand. You are literally directing the design just by talking to the AI.
And you can be incredibly specific with it. Just type a prompt like, hey, keep the layout intact, but replace the original titles with my name. Oh, and update the main header messaging to say, we build AI that actually works. And magic. AI Studio handles all the code conversion behind the scenes. It swaps the text, adjusts the sizing, and leaves you with a deeply customized app, all while you wrote exactly 0 lines of code. It's literally like having a senior front-end developer sitting right next to you, executing your every command. All right, Section 4, Exploring Instant Design Variations, the Edit tool.
So what if you want to experiment with the visual vibe a bit? Well, by simply clicking the newly added Edit tool icon, you open up an absolute playground for design. You don't need to know a single thing about CSS or styling. You can just test how your user interface, your UI, changes with completely different fonts, color themes, and layout structures, right there on the fly. For example, let's say you're going for an edgy, video-centric look. You can literally just prompt the Edit tool for a YouTube-style theme. Within seconds, the AI generates variations featuring those iconic red and black colors. It can even restructure the way your navigation tabs look to mimic a YouTube homepage. It does all the heavy lifting of redesigning the color palette and structure instantly.
And the absolute best part, there is zero risk. You can generate 3, 4, or 5 of these different looks and preview them live. You get to see exactly what they look like before deciding which one perfectly matches your vision. And hey, if you look at the YouTube theme and decide, actually, scratch that, it's not for me. No problem at all. You just click Continue without selection, and you're safely back to your original design. You're completely free to experiment without the fear of breaking anything. Moving on to Section 5, Going Live on Cloud Run, Publishing your app.
Okay, so you've imported your base, prompted your messaging, and nailed down your design. You have a completely custom web app. Let's finally get this thing on the internet so people can actually use it. In the old days, deploying an app was this massive, separate headache involving servers and hosting platforms. Now, publishing is incredibly simple. You literally just hit the Publish Your App button. aistudio automatically gathers the necessary permissions and securely connects directly to your Google Cloud project in the background. Guys, it takes exactly one click. In just a few seconds, Google Cloud Run processes your project and generates a live, public, internet link. You can immediately take that URL, text it to your friends, post it on social media, send it to a client, whatever you want. You literally went from zero to a live deployed application in one sitting. Unbelievable.
Real quick, before we completely wrap up, I just want to plant a little seed for the future here. The source material notes another really interesting update. The powerful Managed Agents API has now landed on the free tier. This is basically an agent harness from Google that spins up infrastructure in real time, writes code, and even creates media like images and videos based on your tasks. While that is absolutely a deep dive for another explainer, it just highlights how rapidly these zero-code AI-driven tools are evolving and becoming accessible to everyone.
So we've seen how Google AI Studio handles the dependencies, translates the frameworks, customizes the design, and publishes right to the web. The barrier to entry to create software is literally zero now. No terminal, no coding required whatsoever. So my final question to you is this. Now that absolutely nothing is standing in your way, what amazing web app are you going to build today?